When I was a teenager, I was so confused with what to put in my body to have the energy levels that I wanted to have. I tried different things before practices and before games. Oftentimes, I would end up with an upset stomach. My dad would get so frustrated with me out of love. He's like, Jen, how have you not figured out what works for you by now? He would get so frustrated with me. And so this uncertainty, this lack of confidence, this struggle went with me honestly into my pro career. And I struggled with feeling like I didn't feel like I had the energy that I thought I should have. I lost my energy quickly in games. I was always uncertain about if I was gonna have like an upset stomach and if I'd have to be subbed out to run off to the bathroom. Not fun, but that was my life. And I kept thinking, there's something I'm missing. How is it possible that I am feeling so exhausted and it's only 10 minutes into the game, 20 minutes into the game? And so this is part of what motivated me to go get the education that I got toward the very end of my pro career. And once I learned the tools from, it's the Integrative Health Practitioner certification by Dr. Stephen Cabral, totally changed my life and my health in so many ways. So if you're curious about this program, send me a message. I would love to share more about it with you. And what I learned in this program were tools that I applied to myself at the end of my professional soccer career when I was playing for New Jersey. And all of a sudden, I started feeling like myself again. I started feeling like I had my energy back and I could depend on it in a game. And it felt so good. And not only that, I got way better results, right? I started scoring more goals. I started getting more playing time. And so the reason I'm sharing this with you is because this is part of what I do every single day with student athletes and adults, but primarily I work with student athletes right now. And I have permission to share this story. There is a boy who I worked with, and he is in his senior year right now, and he hadn't PR'd he hadn't gotten a personal best time in track or cross country since his freshman year, when he was doing really well, and then he got injured. And then over the past few years, he wasn't able to figure it out. He wasn't able to get back to and then exceed his best for 3 years. And so his parents found out about me, and he and I started working together. And a couple weeks after we started working together, and of course we worked on multiple different variables based on where he was at, including like organization, time management, sleep, improving sleep, reducing stress, like mindset stuff. That was a big thing for him. But a big variable that I immediately noticed was his nutrition is really out of balance. Like, he wasn't eating enough protein for one. He wasn't eating frequently enough for two. He was so dehydrated, way under drinking in his amount of water. He was also eating mostly plant-based, so there were certain nutrients that someone on a plant-based diet, it's really important to be educated to know to supplement with them. So for example, B12. So we got him doing that. Long story short, a few weeks after we started taking this very big picture holistic approach, while also very much focusing on nutrition, he started noticing more energy in his practices, in his trainings, in his runs, less lead legs, that's what he would call them, feeling faster in his practices, and then his first personal record. His first PR happened, and then his second, and then his third, and then his fourth. And this is I think one of the lessons in this is that when kids are taught how to easily and deliciously, and also efficiently, because I know the student athletes I work with, they're very busy, they're awesome, they have a lot of commitment. So when they're taught also how to quickly and efficiently create easy, delicious foods that they enjoy, in my experience, they immediately begin to get better results on the field, and they immediately have better energy also, so on and off the field. And when a person, but in this case, a young person, has better energy, their grades improve, right? They have more energy to study. Their relationships improve because they have more energy to devote to their social life. They have more confidence because when in my experience, when I knew, oh, I know that when I eat this combination of foods, I'm going to feel good. And I know it's not going to upset my sensitive stomach. And I know it's going to help me to recover as efficiently as possible. Like that really, really builds confidence. And it's a confidence zapper that I see in a lot of young kids. They really haven't spent much time, if any, learning about studying nutrition education. So of course they're confused, like they're beginners, right? That was me too years ago. So that's the one learning. And then the second learning is when kids are taught healthy habits at a young age, such as how to eat like nutrient dense, nourishing foods that like nourish cells and help support recovery for athletes, which is so important. But when they're taught how to nourish their bodies in like a whole food way, they're setting themselves up to have a positive, lifelong relationship with food and a healthier future. And so I'm not going to go into that right now because that's a passion of mine. I'll go into that in a separate video on how the food we eat can literally turn on genes in our body or turn off genes in our body. So the food we eat, it can actually impact and inform and turn on genes, for example, that support detoxification. Like broccoli is so good. Eat lots of broccoli. It's naturally very detoxifying. So are all of the other cruciferous vegetables. But our food, if we're eating crap food, and oh, by the way, if we're also feeling really, really stressed, which is like another toxin on the body, that's another thing. But if we're eating crap food, this can actually turn on genes that can promote disease. And so like I said, I'm not going to get too much into this, but this is part of why I'm so passionate about educating young boys, young girls, young teenagers in the area of nutrition, because not only are they going to get immediately better results on the field, in the classroom, in their social lives, but they're going to then go on to be set up to live a much more healthy, nourished life because they have a healthy relationship with food. So that is this week's video. I hope you enjoyed it. And by the way, if you're a student athlete, and maybe if a student athlete is watching this, so if you are struggling in the area of your nutrition, this is something that I help young people with every single day. So maybe if you're interested, maybe you'd like to hop on a call with me. I offer a free coaching session to everyone. It's a 30-minute call, and we can talk about your nutrition and where you're at, and I will help you move forward in the most powerful direction based on where you're at in your unique life with your unique habits and preferences and all of that, because I work with a lot of picky eaters as well. So I'll put the link to book in for that free coaching session below this video. Of course, as always, there's no pressure to work with me. So this is a free session for me to help you. And if you would like to work together at any point, you can always ask about that on the call. All right, take care. Have a great day.